So in this video, this is about what you can do when you're in the Zoom meeting. You can see I only have one person on right now, but if I had a class, I'd have a lot more people in my participants list. So there's a few things. If you're Zooming with a colleague, or even if you're Zooming with your class, I might consider hiding your self view. It can actually make you feel a lot more energized and a lot more connected to other people if you're only looking at them instead of looking at yourself all the time while you're talking. So that's a good idea if you're meeting with colleagues, or sometimes even when you're meeting with students, but not when you're trying to gesture and see how you look on the screen, of course. You can go back in to any of the squares, any of the student squares, and go to the ... to show your self view back. So that's one thing that you can do. The other thing that you can do is you can share your screen. When you share your screen, most of us know that this shares our whole screen, and then you can share individual apps. You can also share with computer sound by clicking here, and that'll play the sounds that you hear on your computer. But a lot of us don't know about this advanced page here. Two things that I like to show off in the advanced page is you can share just the sound from your computer, which I do when I'm allowing students to enter or play music, and then content from a second camera. If you have a hover cam, I don't recommend that you share using Flex 11 and sharing your screen, because that adds an extra layer. But you can see this is not actually my camera. I also stop my video when I am sharing something other than my video, and I actually train my students to stop their video too. It helps. But then I push switch camera here, and now I'm on my hover cam that's plugged into my Surface. So this is going to be a lot clearer, and you don't get all the hover cam controls, but you're not also streaming your whole screen and trying to display it on your screen, and you'll have better performance. So that's one thing I wanted to show you about sharing video. If you click the little caret next to share screen, you have advanced sharing options. This is the place where you would allow students to participate by sharing their screen. Do not do this unless you know who all of your students are and you're sure that they're all there and you have expectations set. So I usually do this at the end of my meetings. At the end of my meetings, I usually just keep the students who I need to talk to, maybe intervening on, students who have questions. I ask students, if I have a smaller group like that, if they can turn on their video and wave to me for a second, even if they don't like having their video on. That way I can confirm identities before I allow them screen sharing capabilities. And this does not get retained. It always switches back to only host, as long as you don't mess up with the settings that are on zoom.us. So that's a good thing to check. The other place to check in meeting is the chat. The chat will remember which one you have this set to. So if I was been working with students and I had it set to this, and then I start working with adults and then they can't chat with each other, I have to switch it back. But then when I start my next meeting, I should check this because it remembers the last setting that you had. So that's an important one to check. If you want to use breakout rooms are here. If you want to use polls, you see I have polls turned on, but they're not showing up here because remember you have to set up polls in advance. And remember, I don't recommend polls because not everybody has a device that can do a poll. When you're using breakout rooms, you can create rooms. You can create a number of rooms. You can assign students automatically or manually. You can join individual rooms. But this is an important warning. Even if you have it set so that students cannot screen share, when you create breakout rooms, they can screen share with each other in the breakout rooms. So even if it's set to not allow students to screen share, there's no way to set that in a breakout room. So that's an important safety concern for you to think about, and a thing for you to think about when you're setting up meetings. So I usually stay on for questions and then do small groups and allow students to share their screen. And when they share their screen, I can request access and I can actually click on things for them and show them around. And then when I'm all done, I just hit end meeting, and that's the end.